What is up, everybody, and welcome to the SummerSlam official review, or prediction, sorry. The review will come after the pay-per-view. This is before. Now, what you guys are seeing is me the day before going through and saying who I'm going to win every match, because I'm actually, as you watch this, in Cleveland for SummerSlam and planning to vlog the adventure. So, hopefully a vlog comes out if it all goes right and the phone works and it looks good and all the editing and stuff goes down. Hopefully it all comes out right and we can vlog the experience as well. However, it is time to review who I think will win every single match of WWE SummerSlam Cleveland. And to start things off, we have Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. And just like at Money in the Bank, I feel as though only one person can win this match: Braun Breaker. It has to happen. WWE. Sami Zayn's title reign has not felt right. It has not felt good. Honestly, I forget Sami's a champion a majority of the time. It's just not what it needs to be. The Intercontinental Championship felt so great under Gunther, and then Sami has kind of just let it fall by the wayside. And honestly, I need it to come back, and I think Braun can do that. He's a dominant champion. It would help him a lot. Something else is I think we need to take SummerSlam and kind of push WWE in a different direction. I mean, the show's all right, but for me at least, the show is feeling lackluster. And I think Braun is absolutely incredible. A lot of people love Braun, and he'd be a great new champion. Speaking of new champions, I also feel as though Logan Paul should lose to LA Knight for the United States Championship. Now, Logan Paul's been making some controversial opinions on Twitter, or X, I'm sorry, as you guys may know. And as such, I think maybe it's time. I mean, nobody really likes this Logan Paul U.S. Championship reign. LA Knight has been over for so long. Let's finally capitalize on it and make the megastar a mega champion. Yeah, it's time. Let him have it. He could do a great deal with that belt. I could imagine Logan losing and LA coming out and being so excited that he has that belt around his waist. He's coming out. People are going, LA Knight, yeah. And everyone's going to be cheering. You have it. He's there. Use him. Please. We have been begging for a championship reign with LA Knight for so long. And the only way that I see it happening is by beating Logan Paul. As such, I don't care for it in Cleveland. I don't care if Logan Paul's the returning hometown boy. I used to live in Cleveland, and I don't think a lot of people in Cleveland even like Logan Paul. It would be great. Let's have Logan lose. Let's have him get absolutely destroyed. Not that I think it should be a squash match. I think it should be close, and I think Logan should use the brass knucks and try to cheat, and LA Knight's just able to counter him every single step of the way. And I do think Logan should lose to LA Knight. Keeping on the same trend we've been on, I think that the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax, needs to be beating Bayley. I like Bayley. I think Bayley's great. I like Bayley's character. But honestly, Nia deserves it. She's great. Everything about her. She knows how to put on a good match, and when she is out there, it's just all around great. I also think this could lead to Tiffany Stratton not wanting to cash in on Nia Jax, but threatening it a lot. And it could lead to, when Nia Jax finally does lose the belt, here comes Tiffany cashing in her briefcase and becoming champion as soon as Nia loses. Now, I'm not saying make Nia a bridge champion by any means. I think she deserves a 3 or 4 month long reign. But I think it would be good to see it and then have her lose it to someone who would then be a 1 day bridge champion or even less than a day for Tiffany Stratton to cash in. Someone I don't think should lose this weekend, Liv Morgan. Now, Liv and Rhea. Wow. This match, I think, should main event the show. I cannot say enough hype about it. It is the match for me of the night. It is the one I'm most excited for. The one that I think has the potential to create a huge moment in storyline that will span WWE for the next year, possibly. The reason I have Liv winning is I think Dom needs to cost Rhea. Dom needs to finally go with Liv. We saw right before Rhea came back, Dom started to feel it a little bit with Liv in the ring. He was getting into it. So what do? We have him cost Rhea. Have him distract the ref so that Liv can use the title, a chair, anything, and bang, hit Rhea over the head, and then hit Oblivion and win the match. Now I get it. Rhea's supposed to look strong. Rhea's supposed to be strong. How can we make that character even more interesting? We give the belt to stay on Liv because of someone in Rhea's own faction. That could then cause some dissent in Judgment Day. Maybe we get 2 factions of Judgment Day that are then warring it out. There's a lot of potential here. And I absolutely love the idea of maybe doing that with the Judgment Day. I could see a new direction with it. And it really helps Rhea out, because then she has a chance to not fight for the belt as much and to just put on great matches. I mean, Rhea's amazing in the ring. So is Liv. And there's so many people who deserve that belt that if we can get it off of Rhea, we could have Liv have a few more months to the reign. I'm not saying go for a long time. Maybe at Bash in Berlin, Liv loses it, and that's fine with me. At least we had the reign as long as we did, and it felt good. And there's this match right here and this possible huge moment. And yes, the Liv reign will be known as the reign that she was with Dominic. But I think it's worth it because she's doing amazing with that belt. Now, for the only match of the night to not have a belt on the line, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, special guest referee Seth Rollins feels huge. And I went back and forth on who should win. I was like, Drew's pretty good and it would help him out. But it is Punk's return, and I do think that takes precedent. CM Punk returning. His first ever singles match, televised, back in WWE, at SummerSlam. Have him beat Drew. Now, here's one thing I do want to see happen. I don't know if it will. I don't think it will. As far as I know, it's not even rumored. I want AJ Lee back. Really bad. I love AJ Lee. She's one of my favorites of all time. How do we get AJ Lee back? Well, Drew goes for a Claymore. Punk throws Rollins in front of him. Bang! Down goes Seth. Drew doesn't know what to do. Punk comes out of nowhere with a giant flying kick or a knee, anything. Drew's down. Punk picks him up. GTS. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3, nothing. He's looking. The ref's knocked out. We have nobody. All of a sudden, Let's Light It Up comes on. Out comes AJ Lee, special guest referee outfit on. Slides in the ring. And that's when it happens. Punk turns around to go back to Drew. Claymore to Punk. And Drew looks at AJ, looks down at Punk, pins while making eye contact. And that's when AJ Lee goes absolutely ballistic. Hitting, kicking, everything she can do. And Drew's finally got enough, and he is like he pushes AJ Lee. And that's when Punk pops up, Anaconda Vice, and Drew taps to the Anaconda Vice, and AJ rings the bell. I think we need to have a Cleveland screw job here. Even if Drew doesn't tap, AJ rings the bell and says he did. Well, she's the new special guest referee. What are we to do? Punk should win, but in heel fashion with AJ Lee's help. It pushes the story along. It can really make Drew get really pissed off. It helps Punk get his retribution. It sets both of them up because then Rollins could be pissed at Drew. We finally move past Drew and CM Punk and move towards a Seth Rollins-Drew feud again. Maybe we have it end after the next pay-per-view and then they can all go their own ways. I like the feud. It's dragging on a little bit. Let's figure out a way to end it so all three men can move on. They're all great and they all deserve to have a lot of time. Next up, the World's Heavyweight Championship. Gunther versus Damian Priest. And I think Priest should win. Now, I love Gunther. I think Gunther's amazing. I think he is a world champion. But I want him to win it in Berlin. I don't want him to win it in Cleveland. So, and this does go off of the Liv Rhea match. Like I said, warring factions. You know, I think Gunther's about to win. Out of nowhere, JD distracts the ref. Finn Balor comes in. Bang! And he lawn darts. Gunther hits the coup de grace. Damian Priest is like, get out of here. I don't need your help. And that's when Finn just punches Damian. Carlito comes in, takes Damian's side. And JD, Carlito, and Finn all start battling. Dominic's nowhere to be seen. But here comes Rhea. And she's telling everyone, get back. Go to the back. Leave him alone. They all leave. But you can tell that JD and Finn don't want to leave as much as Carlito does. So it's like, okay, what's going on here? You know, we start getting those seeds placed. And I do see it eventually being Damian Priest, Carlito, and Rhea versus JD, Finn, Dom, and Liv. I think that's a good little smaller faction that we could have for a little bit. Maybe bring in someone else to help out the Damian Priest side of it. Maybe not. Who cares? But yeah, I think Priest goes over and eventually loses to Gunther at Bash in Berlin. And in the final match, Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa for the WWE Championship. I think the match should be a hard-fought one and clean for the most part until the ref goes down and Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu go crazy. And I do think Solo wins. Now, I do think we also have it be a must-see match where Solo's absolutely beating the hell out of Cody with all of them. Or maybe Solo's not. Maybe it's just Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob. And Solo's in the corner trying to fix himself back up because he's been getting absolutely beat like Cody has. They've both been through absolute hell. Maybe we're 30 minutes into this match and they're both just beat down and tired. And that's when you hear, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and here he comes. And Solo and all of them are shocked. Solo's in the corner like, what? All the Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob all turn towards him. Cody's laying lifeless on the floor. And they're just staring. And next thing we see is the Usos theme as Jimmy and Jay come in beside Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman, still with mic in hand, has introduced them. And they start walking down to the ring before Paul stops. And he counts to 3 in the ring and counts Jimmy and Jay. And he goes, how silly of me. I forgot this is a fair fight. And he points back up to the front of the ring. Out comes Roman Reigns, the big return we've all been waiting for. And here he comes. He gets to the ring. And Tama Tonga Tonga Loa and Jacob Fatu have already jumped out of the ring, and they're beating up on Jimmy and Jay, and Roman's helping out. So we have the OG bloodline versus this new bloodline. And Solo, Cody, and the ref are all down in the ring. Well, the ref comes to and sees everything going on, tries to get some order to the outside, realizes he can't, says, forget it. There's nothing else I can do for them, just as long as they don't get involved in the match. And Cody gets up and he's kind of looking out there like, wait, what? What is going on out there? Like, everything's going crazy. Is that Roman? And that's when we see out of nowhere the Samoan Spike. And Solo does pin Cody Rhodes to become champion. I think it's the best way to do it. It sets up Solo versus Roman if we want. It can set up anything that we want. Cody's reign has been a little boring. He's become a little stale. But overall, this would definitely make an interesting matchup and possibly a good War Games match, because War Games is coming. And we could have them building till War Games, these two factions of one family. Who will be the tribal chief? Solo or Roman? What will happen? There's so many questions. And I think it all starts with SummerSlam in Cleveland. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. And I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye, guys.